What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 11 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Tyrion Immortal Empire's expanded campaign. So as we saw last time, our numbers of foes steadily grow as we have now fought the World Walkers Norskins, in addition to the Orcs and the Undead. Capitano Sissoko fell to Tyrion's wrath, and Tyrion is rapidly on the approach to Naggarond, which is in a bit of a stalemate with Hag Grief, now that we possess it ourselves. Unfortunately, our idiot allies, once again, the other High Elves are such idiots. The Dark Elves are right all along, but anyway. The Naggareth High Elves have decided to randomly attack the Heralds of Ariel, which is quite the irritant, as I was hoping to use both of them as buffer states for us. And of course, I still don't like the fact that a Stank sailed up here. She is technically friendly with Illyrian, but I still don't like it. I will think about it. Anyway, in terms of what we gotta do this time around, I do believe we're only about halfway through the turn, so there is a fair bit. And the thing I'd like to start with, I think, is to trade Clarkaron from these guys. Now, Clarkaron, we cannot trade it this way, so we'll just buy it out using the Trade Settlements mod, which allows you simply to trade settlements anywhere on the map rather than where you have borders. And I don't see why, I don't really see why this isn't a possibility anyway. Like, sure, you could in theory abuse it, but I mean, there's a lot of systems in the game that you can abuse anyway. If you're just making an agreement with a faction to buy a territory that they otherwise have absolutely no use for, then I know it makes sense. Clarkaron, we have to pay them 8.6 thousand gold, which is a decent amount, but it's an outpost, so it will never level any higher, so yeah, we'll do this. Like so. And Clarkaron does have the lovely layers of Clarkaron. I actually don't know if the Wood Elves can build that. No, actually they wouldn't be able to, because the outpost can only be at level 1. And yeah, it's a completely useless settlement to them, but a fantastic settlement to us, so yes. Anyway, don't collect the income immediately to grow faster. I was hoping we'd get some growth or possibly some construction cost reduction via wood. I'm a little bit surprised that wood doesn't offer any kind of construction cost reduction. I feel like it should offer like half as much as the marble does for us. But anyway, I digress. You know what? Start with the homestead just to build it up quicker. It's unlikely that the place gets attacked, and frankly, even if it does, we are not super likely to be able to defend it. We should also try to grab Cragroth deep in Temple of Khaine. We have our own... Would be nice to have our own Temple of Khaine, after all. But we shall see. Also, do we get anything out of Grond? Yes, we do. Oh, yes, it's the Purified Convent of Sorcery. That's fine. The Harganeth landmark we've already seen. For whatever reason, actually, it kind of makes sense. We, High Elves, don't get the ability to build any landmark at Karond Kar. But Karond Kar being the slave gate, it kind of makes sense that maybe High Elves don't want any part of that. Anyway, that's done. Let's move to Alistar here. Now, Alistar can't move, unfortunately, because there's a decent likelihood that... Well, actually, maybe these guys can't get to us in one turn, meaning we would be free to go to the Pale Sisters. You know what, let's go to the Pale Sisters then. Like so, this should be a resolvable, I'd wager. I mean, there's some stuff there, but it still shouldn't be too much of a problem. Yeah, we're okay. And occupy the place like so. And hello... Ooh, Moranian's Wayshard, yes. Absolutely, yes. This was a critical item to find. And frankly, you can't use it right now. We'll give it to somebody. Whoever ends up leading the Spearmen and the... Let's see... Shadow Warriors. I was going to give them to Belanair the Wise Man. We're probably just better off getting another princess. Either the energetic one, speed and reload, or the punitive one, missile strength and missile resistance. Both are very good options. With full Vanguard deployment, they're both really good. Again, why are princesses always like 50 times better than any of the princes? I'd just like to see at least one prince that's really, really strong, but I think it might be because princesses have the 100 influence cost. Have we actually seen any 100 influence princes, or have they always been lower level? Huh, maybe this is why we're not seeing higher tier stuff on them. Anyway, let's start with diplomacy this time around. And then we'll do a blurb reading, and then we'll do a fight, and then onward and upward. Trade agreements, hell... Oh, Defenders of the Great Plan. Yeah, they're dead. There's no point in trading with them. They have one settlement, which will fall in short order. Military access... With the Great Orthodoxy? Yes. We will do this. It's a defensive alliance that we want for their units, which we will hopefully soon be able to get. Like so. Defensive alliance, Jade Court, 100%. 100%. Oh. Don't take their money, though. I'd like them to keep it so that we can... Well, hopefully they don't die. We will build the outpost at the Isle of the Crimson Skull, like so. And, oh, they have a landmark here. Interesting. What's the landmark? Chalice of Shathrodox, or income, trade tariffs. This isn't much for us considering we get 3% for every harbor that we have. It does have an enchanted item though, and I do wonder what that is. Anyway, that's done. Let's continue with the diplomacy. What else do we have here? I believe we were in defensive alliance. Northern provinces are dead, so there isn't really much purpose to this. Okamoto clan is looking to be dead as well, so we can ignore them. There is the other High Elves, which we would be able to increase our... Honestly, the Harbingers of Pain are a decent potential Dark Elven faction to sort of bring into the fold if we can, so maybe we shouldn't ally with Tor Elithis. Although the High Elf Sea Patrol is a good option. Frankly, I'd like to trade with them as well.
I accept.
Common courtesy is rare nowadays. I mean, this is Tyrion we're talking about. And frankly, Aisling is one to talk, so yeah. Anyway, let's see. Illyrian Military Alliance, Nagaryth. Yeah, no. And Citadel of Dusk and trade... Oh! Speaking of Citadel of Dusk, we have this. Ooh, this is going to cripple our income, but... Melwin's up here, eh? Yeah, you know what? We'll do this.
May your voyages always be bountiful.
Oh, thank you. That's not a jerk-face thing to say. Which I'm surprised to hear from any High Elf. Also, by acquiring new territories, we got new trade agreements available, including the Golden Order. Decent pickup. And I think I'd rather have them than the... I don't know why I bothered taking their money. I'd rather have them than Bordelot Errant. Yeah, we'll ignore you and then trade with Kotasotek or Southern Sentinels or somebody else here. All right, Thorkinson's Island, yes. What do we have here? Ooh, capacities. Ah, but no noble capacity. Actually, speaking of, you know what? Thorkinson's Island, I'll deal with you in a moment. Confederation, yes. I'll lose that post, yes. And we lose like 4,000 gold per turn. Marienburg, at least temporarily, build the Elven Gardens. I want that conscientious noble influencer up and running. Melwyn, you have... I was hoping that these were Warline chariots. Otherwise, your army isn't anything interesting. You, however, have a Vol item, an enchanted spyglass. Ooh, that's nice. Especially considering this is non-armor-piercing weapon damage. This will come in handy. Alright, so I think we will delete you. Granted, we could use you to sail out and pick up items if we really wanted to. Can you? You cannot. Admittedly, at the same time, Cadrilla's coming down here, and I'm not entirely sure that you're worth it at this time. Though, you do have other units nearby. Hello. Free line chariots. Yeah, but this one's so far, we're probably not going to make a delivery. A looter? Ah, you're an entrepreneur. But you're a sea helm. If you were an entrepreneur that was a prince, that would be much more useful, because then we could park you in a territory and then get mileage out of that. You're an exemplar. That's a nice find. You're being kept. Annalise, and you have militia master. None of this applies to you in theory, but in practice... Speed for chariots, Lothern Skycutters, which are also chariots. Upkeep reduction for chariots, Lothern Skycutters, and bolt throwers. Reload time reduction. So basically, you could command any army that uses Skycutters in decent numbers for support. We already have a exemplar leading our chariot army, so we wouldn't necessarily want you to be super chariot heavy, though admittedly if we wanted to do something like Skycutters, Silverin Guard, and a Thilmar chariots, this would be a decent option for you. So in that light, I'd like to keep you leveling. We'll transfer all of this to you for now, and
can I offer assistance?
We could actually grab an island or two with you. And then Fenrir, entrepreneur, you effectively serve no purpose, so we will delete you, buddy. Like so. This place, now... Oh, there's another island here. The remnants of battle.
Princess of the Asur.
Alright, pick up the remnants of battle real quick, because it means no battle here. And Arabian arms. Korean sorcelled blades. Like so. Come on, materials, let's see. And then this is what? It is a shipwreck, meaning it will be a fight, meaning we will march stance or full speed stance right here, close by, but not into it. Like so. And, attrition.
Setting sail.
There you go. Alrighty, we'll pick that up in possibly the Skull Island as well, and then use that to level you. You, Melwyn, you could probably give Annalise a full army. Tyrion chariots. Can Warline chariots be side-graded to anything? No. Unfortunately not. We could actually upgrade some of the Tyrion chariots to Athilmar chariots because, yeah, you know what, fine. We'll keep Melwyn for now. Assuming these guys don't declare war and instantly kill him next turn, but we'll deliver some of the stuff to give Annalise a full stack and then send her out there. What is this? Arathel the Mistmage. Ridiculed. I don't really see the need for you, but at the same time, nothing. Go out there. We don't have any regular mage capacity, so we're just going to have to make use of the Mistmages. Citadel of Dusk. You have the Elven Colony, which buffs up our movement speed at sea, and the Citadel of Dusk itself, which seems to buff Shadow Warriors and Walkers. Fair enough. We'll give this a read probably when we build it. In the meantime, we need the place to grow, and it's not like we're building anything. We don't have defenses at Dusk Peaks, but I don't see anybody easily being able to take Citadel of Dusk or that, so I think we'll leave it as it is and pop it into Banish Corruption for the additional growth, and then just try to grow it to tier 4 as fast as we can to get that Citadel. Oh, I love the... why is this all red? It's not cornately corrupted. The blue is presumably from the Zenitian corruption nearby in Kairos, and I would assume it changes to purplish where we're Slanashifying. Why is this part red? Wait, unless it's just all the gods, so is it going to turn to green here? No, it's going to turn to red. Oh, but there is a Cornate faction here. Oh, I like that it changes to a Rain of Blood. That's lovely. That's absolutely lovely. Anyway, and oh, there's no Skull Island down here. Anyway, yeah, we're good here-ish. I'm tempted to delete something here, but I like the... Yeah, you know what? Let's delete the Dragon's Lair. Funnily enough, we could build you a Moon Dragon, just a single Moon Dragon. Send a Sun Dragon to somebody, then delete it, just because I don't think that... It's going to be a million years before this place upgrades to tier 5, so... Yeah, we'll keep the Blessed Grove because it's for now giving us Handmaiden capacity, and I think we can make good use of it.
I'm waiting.
So yeah. Alright, looks good to me, at least for now. That's the Confederation. Of course, we'll also suffer the Confederation debuff, which means some of our places will start losing public order. The Wasteland as a new place, unsurprising. Lyonesse, again, another new place. We could grow it faster by uncollecting income, but 400 per turn isn't too bad right now. And, ooh, hello, Bordelot. Let's go for the Haven here. We'll still need to try to get Eataine for a massive Vorcal later on, which I think it should be easy to do. Pale Sisters, yes to the marble. It's got faction-wide benefits. Don't collect the income here. I'm gonna say delete the militia camp, replace it with 2 defensive structures, as it's unlikely that we'll ever get this full province. Not the most unlikely in the world, but at least somewhat unlikely. Next, I believe we had 3 blurbs last episode, so let's blurb. Isle of Wights. Here in secret... There we go. Here, in the secret, a necromancer turned Tzeentch sorcerer mastered the dark arts, creating a creature with the dark will of a spectre combined with the bodily strength and unflagging discipline of a skeleton warrior. Wait, this is the Isle of the Dead. Anyway, though their flesh may rot, a wight's bones remain strong, and their minds retain their mastery of the art of combat and their lust for slaughter. Arcane magic can be unpredictable, and the more power you use to cast a spell, the more likely it is that something unexpected will happen. This is Tzeentch's curse. The necromancer soon lost control of his growing white army and was ripped apart in his lab by his own creations. Yeah, crazy how nature do that. Anyway, the wights roam free across the isle from that day on, until your men came and readied themselves for a tough fight with the undead. Yet the wights do not attack your men, and instead stand guard over your new settlement here. Tzeentch's machinations are far-reaching indeed. It seems you have the dark god's favor. For now. No thank you? That's not good. Why, game? Why you do this? Anyway, I mean, let's do the Ohm Stones as well, since we're reading about Albion at the same time. We'll skip to the Land of Chill. We'll do the Land of Chill afterwards. Listen, after we do some stuff like fighting. But the Ohm Stones. In the centuries following the creation of the Vortex, the elves and dwarfs erected many thousands more waystones across the world along existing ley lines, connecting to and enhancing the stones and lines created by the old ones. In time, these hybrid lines of old ones, elf and dwarf arcane craftsmanship, came to be a focus of truly massive amounts of magical energy and became integral into Ulthuan's vortex system. Much later, the savage tribes of humans that had begun to migrate across the old world came to believe that the waystones, or Ohm as they referred to them, had been placed by gods and spirits. They began to erect their own crude standing stones in mimicry of the more ancient ones. Many of these stones were little more than markers of great battles or the resting places of chieftains. There were many others that the early humans, sensitive to the flow of magic, erected over existing lines of power, or places contaminated by warpstone. Most of the human-built stones and henges were endowed with great religious significance and were often places of meeting, worship, and sacrifice. As an aside, Kislev's lores, Kislev's magic is ley line magic, so it's drawing on a similar source. But anyway, to this day, from continent to continent, the majority of these obelisks and the ley lines they rest upon draw the winds of magic into themselves, then guide these energies in a great spiral towards Ulthuan and the Vortex. Throughout history, magic users of all kinds have both wittingly and instinctively built their dwellings along these lines of etheric power. Many places of great arcane disturbance can be found where two or more of these lines intersect. These intersections form important hub points, or henges, in the Ohm network, where several different ley lines will meet, and the flows of magic will join and be focused through an even larger line. Although they can be found across the mortal realms, the greatest concentration of henges in the old world can be found in the foothills of Carrick Eight Peaks, within Athel-Loren and the Lorelorn Forest, and all across the misty Isle of Albion, where the word Ohm is said to originate. Lovely. Alright, let's see what we got to do next. So, Cadrill, I do believe you have an island to travel to, or like 50,000 of the... Whoa. You destroyed Morgar. Ah, damn, I want to build Bali for the bonus melee defense when fighting at sea. It's only 4 and it's niche, but still. Slightly annoying. I suppose if we occupy some of these places... Okay, but I don't want Cadrill to do it. She's going to go for those Skull Islands. I'm going to say we'll send the Influencer down to Tobaro, then. Can you... Wait, actually, if you land here, can you reach Magritta? It looks of it, no. It'll be just too far. Yeah, unfortunate. But oh well, what can you do? Alright, Cadrill. I would love for you to pick up Bilbali, but we'll send somebody else down here for now. I'm going to have you pick up this shipwreck real quick and explore the island. And can we risk auto-resolving? I'm gonna try. I don't remember how much damage the auto-resolve does to the siren. Let's find out. This better not hurt too much. No, it's okay. And you know what? Because we're probably gonna auto-resolve the next one, this time we'll heal. I think Cadrill should still have a decent amount of post-battle influence. Great Eagle for Cadrill, no. I think I like her on foot. Oh, actually, stay on foot for now. I believe the Handmaiden, yes, will have reached the appropriate rank for hawkish precision, so these will buff the Handmaiden herself, but most importantly, plus 25 armor-piercing missile damage for our range units here. Admittedly, these guys have very low armor-piercing damage, but at the very least, the Exalted High Elven archers with heavy arrowheads are going to dish out even more hurt. Yeah. It's something. Everybody should still use it. Anyway, Miss Mage, let's level you guys up. All of you guys. We have Mistress of the Deeps. It cannot be overcast, but the cost reduction is quite lovely because, again, we are fighting... Oh, you know what? I'd love to get that, but let's increase mobility to the max first. Noble. You are here because you're frugal and primarily to provide ammunition. Frankly, if we could get a frugal noble for the artillery army, that would be real suavely. What I would like to do for you is, I guess, go through hard to hit. You are currently on no mount, eh? I do keep you as sort of the main line unit. I'm wondering whether we should put you on a horse to travel with the Exalted Illyrian Reaver archers in case they need to fight in melee, because you will provide them the bolstered defense plus the martial master, hold the line rather. And 10 melee defense would probably enable them to fight a little bit longer in melee. I'll think about it. You? Oh. I didn't realize the Handmaiden had more points available. Well, that's lovely. Let's go through Retinue Valet. And towards Retinue Physician quick as we can, and then you, K-Drill. I believe we want favorable winds. Archers, Gate Guards, Sea Guards, Shadow Warriors, Shadows Walkers, Sisters of Avalorn, and Bolt Throwers. But not Illyrian Reavers? I guess that's Silver Torrent. Yeah. Fair enough. Silver Torrent it is. You, K-Drill. What is this, Fell Cargo? Well, except for attrition if we're there, unfortunately. And I think we can't quite reach it. We could go like this and not suffer attrition, I think. Or is this in the fog? Because it's acting like it's not attrition here, but I think it is. You know what? Go like this. Try to pick this up in order to get to the Skull Island after. Like this? Yeah, there we go. We're safe. Alright, you stay there, pick this up, then go here, and then all along... Not so much the watchtower, like this. Yeah, well, minus this. Alright. Looking good. Who's next? Borath. Whoa. Oh, right, the frickin' mutagenic energies. Alright, so Borath, what I would like you to do, sir, is to take from Colin... or to give to Colin. Actually, that's a question. Because we could send one of them down to grab Bilbali for us, in theory. Without having anybody else go down there. That might be ideal. And then, wait a second, you have the 2 Exalted Spears. We can transfer them to Belinair, and actually a lot of these units to Belinair now that I look at it. Anything from Coral need to go to Belinair? Not for now. Colin, okay, you know what? You give this stuff to Belinair here. Like so. We're going to send you southward. We still need to rank you up, which almost makes me tempted to say we take the stuff from Borath and send him southward while we use Colin to reinforce stuff. Maybe. It's not like you're gonna have a full army anyway. Alright, you know what, Belinair, I'm going to say march stance here, or actually, you know what, I lied. Go here. Go into Lilith's Blessing to channel. Borath. Oh, no, but Borath still needs to deliver several things to several lords. Yeah, no, so we're probably better off sending Colin that way. Or we could have Colin deliver stuff. Yeah, you know what? Alright, we'll do this. Give this all to you. Some of this will go elsewhere, but Borath by himself will travel southward. And just to double check, yes, you do have the Root Marcher. I guess you get Merchant Lord, a little bit of money. You're mostly just saving to get Regent of the Kingdom after all. And potentially to get the recruitment stuff. Alright. Then Corel. We must needs must use you at Castle Artois, meaning let's push you northward to here. And then Colin, I guess you can follow... I guess you can follow Corel in theory. Like so. Belinair can transfer some of the troops to you in a bit. And have you deliver those that are needed, primarily the Ranger, to Alistar here. Oh, right, and Alistar's army is not full as yet, but we're getting there. Alrighty. Kevin, you're waiting for the next turn to recruit. Okay, so Alariel and Leoquin, we got a little bit of admin to do in the form of moving you here. March stance here. Like so, and then Leoquin, you can go there as well. Yeah.
I know my destination.
Alright, like so, and I also noticed that you have leveled up. Did you actually get into this province? Can't tell. Alright, there you go.
The time is now.
You have leveled up, get yourself Inspiring Presence. You have leveled up, and you want to boost income and inspire or increase mobility. Lovely. Okay, then, this should now be 1 turn. Perfect, and free at that. I'm still very tempted to delete the estate, but I think we still need the growth a decent bit. Alright, then Alariel. I think we send you back to end the turn at Caranthel to get the additional growth here in South Yvres, which is inferior to that found in Lothern. And then we'll most likely send you both. Wait. This place will be a while before we can build anything. Lothern is good. Assuming we don't delete the Elven Embassy. You know what? Maybe we delete the Elven Embassy here. It's really good, but we can also build these everywhere. And the loss of the little bit of money, despite the loss of ports, may still be valuable enough for us. Because we could build the Athomar Smith here instead of it. Or the Dragon Building. Or the Blessed Grove. There's a lot of decent options. Grand Athenium. One of them will eventually replace the estate. And then the last slot in the settlement will be filled by the Court of the Phoenix King. Maybe not super critical right now. We don't have an Ithilmar Smith anywhere near here, do we? As in the high tier. We have it in several locations, but we don't have the high tier variant, which is a shame. And the Warline chariots are built out of the Ithilmar Smith rather than the other thing. How much would it cost to build them via global recruitment, out of curiosity? 2.3k. It's not horrible. We can definitely build like 4 of them for Coral if we really wanted to. Ooh, and now the fact that we have the Lothern Skycutters with Bolthors is really quite nice as well. And I assume that we need the tier 4 Smith to build them as well. Yeah, what we could always do is temporarily build it to Lothern at the cost of the Elven Embassy. Yeah, fine. We'll lose a little bit of cash this way out of Lothern and probably drop by like 200 gold per turn or something, but I think it'll be worth it.
Prince.
We'll rebuild it later on. Although, at the same time, I was going to send Leoquin out here to Evershale to build, I guess not this. In fact, with this completed, you're going to switch to Banish Corruption. This place will be built in 3 turns, so there is no reason for you guys to go down there. I guess we could proceed up here to Tordranil with all of you guys. How many turns would it take? You could go like this, or you could go through Evershale by traveling through the inner sea. Probably. Alariel should be hopefully sufficient to build what we need here, so let's send you here. Alright, good. Anamara, you are still ambushing, or at the very least waiting for a shield to be able to move. Ironically, shield does not have a shield. And hopefully we can get something out of that ambush. Erathond, what I'm gonna do with you, sir, is Skilled is heavily corrupted, and we, for our minor settlement, our minor lesser objective, short victory condition, this Champion of Ulthuan, Alliances, Blessing of the Everqueen. Here it's Skilled. Like so. Reducing the corruption to nothing. Thereby allowing Erathon to move towards Sirthak without having to worry about his units getting damaged. Skymaster is. Alright, you, sir. Into no stance. I guess I'm pretty sure Sirtha will run. But if he doesn't, we'll fight him. Hey, he does not. Pyrrhic victory. We are still damaged from the previous fight, but it doesn't really matter. We were expecting to heal, admittedly, but it's okay. Go.
No challenge has ever defeated members of Bel Shanar's order. This one won't either. I don't like this terrain.
I mean, it might, but somehow I doubt it. I don't believe Erathon has ever been defeated in battle. Here we go. The Silvern Talon will move once again. His eagles admittedly are a little bit damaged, but kind of we're just screwing around with this army for now, and gaining the extra XP and whatnot until we fill out our ranks with whatever else we want in here. And I have been also considering throwing in a few Hawk Riders from the Wood Elves. We just, would need Wood Elf allies for that, if we should go that route. And we could always put Hawk Riders in other armies as well, so there isn't any necessary need for it. Anyway, we're going to start off with the Eagles touching down upon the enemy, and the enemy will interestingly pop up its Frost Dragon scale, which, frankly, we seem to encounter in every single battle against the Norskins now. It's getting kind of ridiculous, but I don't know, I guess the devs just decided that that's what they wanted. Anyway, we're going to back off so the Eagles don't get damaged too much, and ooh, looks like the enemy pops off a Burning Head, which veers away, and just before actually damaging the Asura Warhost. And Fimir Noble, no, that's a Bale Fiend, big ol' staff, moves towards us, and interrupts or intercepts some of the Exalted Spears. And the Exalted Spears actually look fancier than the Silvern Guard do. Well, granted, less silver, but still pretty good. I mean, they got sort of gold-looking armor, and just generally speaking, pretty fancy. Anyway, I actually now forget what regular spears look like. I gotta put them beside the fancier spears. Anyway, Silvern Guard and Exalted Spears alike are going to block off the choke point while our Eagles touch down upon the enemy over in the background here. I do believe the enemy does manage to bring down one of the Eagles, or maybe it hasn't yet, but will manage to bring down one of the Eagles as they do hit us with the 2 regiments of renown, Zinchen Chariots and Slaaneshi Cavalry. And yeah, looks like one of the Eagles unfortunately bites the dust, and we're going to have to back that unit off lest it take too much more damage. But unfortunately for the enemy, the Eagle Prince has way more Eagles where that came from. In the meantime, it looks like Eataine has defeated the enemy Lord, who is attempting to back off while his textures go absolutely nuts, and the Eagles chase him down and make sure that he doesn't come back. While our units of sort of single entity sniping, but at this point really everybody's sniping, Northern Skycutters take up position over and behind the enemy army so that they can fire into their rear ranks while they are pressed by these spears. Now, this is kind of echoing, sort of echoing the original army that I had for Eataine. He had a bunch of Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers and Silveren Guard, hence the Silveren Talon. And then 4 or 5 or something units of Eagles on top of that. And the nice thing about that type of army is the fact that the enemy actually has something to constantly attack. Once we're all Air Force, the enemy is going to have a much more difficult time, as all Air Force armies are truly obnoxious. So, yeah. Also, while the fighting is being fought, that made no sense. I don't remember if I reminded you guys, but the engagement threshold remains at 300 likes and 60 comments, and we will do another double episode on possibly Wednesday, possibly another day, depending on when I have time for, whichever day. So do keep that in mind if you're into that sort of thing. And also the vote for the campaign vote for the decision between Unity and Retribution is still running at this point, at the very least until next episode. So do make your voices heard and vote if you haven't already, because it's a pretty big, important, deciding factor there. Anyway, the Kurgan Horse and the Fimir Stalkers and such are destroyed, and it looks like the enemy army is shattering. Our melee troops down on the ground below actually did take a fair bit of damage. I do wonder how much friendly fire we deal with the Northern Skycutters. Granted, we could have popped them into melee and rear charge the enemy, but there wasn't that much need for it here. The enemy army is destroyed. Some of our Eagles were severely beat up, but again, we are just kind of messing around for now. And as long as they maintain their model numbers, for example, this one has 2, so it'll recover to 50% of their HP. Just gotta make sure to withdraw as needed until the Eagles get stronger. And we get some heroes to buff them up as well, keeping in mind that every noble will give them an additional 5 armor. And we're gonna make some tanky Eagles as we go. Anyway, nice little fight. Alright, there we go. The other chariot destroyed, but he did give us a pretty solid fight. Eagles topping out at, let's see, 18, nearly 19k. There we go. Very well done out of you. Though the anti-large on all those Norscan units did certainly help them against them. These Skycutters were shooting them for quite the while as well, and did pretty well with topping out at 13k. Not at Eagle level, to be sure, but still pretty good. And the spears were there mostly to just act as an anvil while we wait for the rest of the stuff that needs to go into this army. The healing was pretty minimal, so I think we'll take the ransom captives again, especially since we just lost a bunch of money thanks to that Confed. And I would like to chase this guy down, however. Oh, we still suffer attrition? Why? Cold makes corpses. Oh, I don't like that. I guess we chase you down then, because we're not getting anything out of it. Hey, Eataine has his Eagle mount. It's unfortunate that Sea Helms don't have the Griffin mount. Can only choose between Eagle and Skycutter, but maybe that makes sense, so whatever. Alrighty, and then we'll go for Skymaster and Bow. Actually, you know what? No, this is rank 12. Or wait, this is rank 12. So this is 4 points, meaning 1, 2, 10, 11. Meaning we are free to use 1 point somewhere. We could give a pile of... You know what? I'm going to say Bowmaster. Let's get the additional ammunition on the Skycutters. I think I need it. And then I guess, yeah, since we can't de-attritionize, we have no choice in... This won't kill this Eagle, will it? I hope not. That would be obnoxious. There is only 1 model left, and sometimes attrition is kind of weird in that regard. I have concerns. I have great concerns. You know what? Ignore him. Go here. There we go. And we won't suffer attrition in the water. The reason that I did this was in the hopes that destroying the corruption would you know, enable us to at least not to take attrition damage here, but that didn't work out, so what can you do? Anyway, Mist Mage. Let's max out the Adriel's Shroud. We could go for the Obscuring Haze as well, but this is the spell that we use a lot. Frankly, Cleansing Heart would be quite nice as well, but anyway. For now, we're okay. Huh, I wonder if this one guy is going to go for Skilled. Guess we're going to have to find out. Alright, nice little fight. Keeping you're waiting for one more turn, unless I'm mistaken. Yes, you're waiting for one more turn to do recruiting again. And Armara we checked already. Who is Trillian? Oh, right, our tech thief, who is waiting for Focused Mind, but now needs to find an enemy to steal tech from. Nobody's close by. Yeah, you're not getting to anybody in 3 turns, I think. Best way would probably be to go after the Slaaneshi here. Alright, to the Slaaneshi ye shall go then. Sounds like we'll ever be friends with them.
I await your command.
Influencer 2. Since this one is going to the rats, we'll send you, I suppose, to the Pirates of Sartosa. Alright. Next up, we did the building, but just to double check real quick, yeah, just the Vanheim Mountains, wherein I'm not sure that we want to bother building anything. I mean, I guess we could build the watchtower in case the place gets attacked. Yeah, let's do it for now. And then we'll see. I'm almost tempted to, you know what? Go for the Elven Gardens, even if it's only... Huh. Nah, this guy can reach it. With a Lord, he might have enough. You know what? Don't build anything yet. If he gets a Lord in there, he might actually attack us and kill the place. Obviously, we could counteract that with our own Lord. We want to summon one there. This princess should be upgraded to rank 12, so that we can get some use out of her stats. Same with the elusive guy. Alright, fine. You know what? We'll do this. Put this princess here, then we will build the noble thing in order to get another noble. And we will lose that capacity, but it'll be worth it. As in when we delete it, but for now it'll be worth it. And then you are going back into Banish Corruption. Alright, so that looks good to me. Next up we'll do another blurb, then we'll end the turn. Yes. Looks like it. I hope we're not besieging anything, but it's... Well, I guess we'll find out. Alrighty, the Dark Crag, the Land of Chill. The Dark Crag is a sinister and foreboding place, built at the bottom of a cold, dark canyon and completely surrounded by mountains of bare rock that stretch into the clouds. It is a city permanently in shadow, for no sunlight ever reaches its walls. The rocks below Hagrief are honeycombed with mines and quarries that are in turn threaded through with chain gangs of slaves who claw iron and jet black stone from the belly of the world. This is the most miserable of existences, toiling far from any natural light, starved on all but the meanest food and chilled to the bone by the piercing wind that howls through the tunnels. Even after death there is no respite. The mines are riddled with veins of warpstone, whose baleful power animates the dead and keeps them laboring until they collapse into worn piles of bones. Such is the fate of, you know, being captured by the Dark Elves. And I do believe we're ready to end the turn. So skip. Wait. Yeah. Skip. Ah, damn. Commandment available. But where? Where? No, genuinely, I'm not sure where the new commandment was available. It was... Oh, wait. It was one of the new provinces, most likely. Yes. You're going into growth, and you I did nothing with. Therefore, I guess you're going into the growth as well. I'd love to do the additional trade tariffs, but I think for now, we'll go for growth. Alright, looks good. I wonder if this guy will take the opportunity to kill poor Melwyn. Again, we took off all his items. You know what? Lose the Herald of Mathan? Nah, he's got the attrition reduction. Oh! Herald of Mathan has attrition reduction. I wonder if we put it on a bunch of heroes, will the army then gain the additional reduction as well, or is that only a Lord thing for this guy? Anyway, for that particular ancillary. Well, let's end the turn. Caranthel will once again gain the blessing of the Everqueen, which is great. Have we read the blurb for Avathair? I don't believe we have. Cradled in the... Never mind. And Bo. Was this the time, buddy? Join more against the accursed troop? No. But I like how you're thinking. And is the camera once again going to go where we can't? Yeah, it looks like it. We've seen the Tower of Lysanin. Hello. We got discovered by... That's an interesting choice of stack. Oh, we got discovered, but now it's giving us the choice to attack it. Yes, we will attack it. War banners for these guys, eventually, hopefully, for Tyrion Exalted Chariots. But for now, all those Dark Shards versus all those Eagle Claws. Gotta watch out for the Blood Rag Medusa, though. Yep.
For the Everqueen! They will not live to see another day.
Alright, great to hear those Esur war horns as we engage the Dark Elves, who immediately debase themselves by summoning demonettes on the battlefield. They do try to summon the demonettes in the way of the Tyrion chariots, which is kind of an interesting choice from the AI, as they could have summoned them where our artillery were, although admittedly at the same time our magic damage dealing Treekin would have had something to, well, growl about that, I guess. They can't really speak, but anyway. Looks like some of the enemy range units have moved on in. It's Dark Riders with repeater crossbows, but it's not really them that we care about. This particular enemy army is, just generally speaking, going to have a very bad time against our army composition. Between the fact that we have chariots and the enemy has little recourse in terms of dealing with them, just tons and tons of ranged infantry, and the fact that we have all of these artillery pieces, and the fact that they constantly fire off at the max reload rate, this is not a good matchup. But we'll see what the AI can do. Anyway, we're going to move our Tyrion chariots to target the enemy Medusa a little bit, as that is an actual threatening unit to us, and these guys are pretty solid at sniping single entities, generally speaking. Plus, it seems the Medusa has no missile resistance, though, in my previous experience with actually firing off range attacks at Medusas, they do have a tendency, to not get hit by anything. There's something up with either their hitbox or the way that they get staggered or something. They're just more difficult to hit than you would think. But not to worry, we have lots and lots of range, and something will hit an single volley into the Lothern Sea Guard perpendicular to their deployment, does a solid 30% of their HP and damage, and another volley comes in, the 4 projectiles doing another solid 30 or so percent. Maybe 25%. Either way, it's not good, as just a few volleys absolutely cripples the unit, and now more of our units are going to do their best to focus down that Medusa and make sure that it can't get any more shots up. And see, even with all these units focusing her down, we've got the 2 units of range, and our hero and lord, and one of the artillery pieces, and all of our Tyrion chariots. Despite the fact that it has no missile resistance, it took a long time to bring down. But eventually bring it down we did, and at the end of the day, all the while we were dealing with the Medusa, our chariots continued to disrupt the enemy formations and cause absolute havoc amongst the enemy ranks, and our artillery pieces continued firing all this time. As long as our chariots keep moving and sending those dark shards flying, I expect we'll do fine. And this is why the Tyrion chariots, I think, are just plain superior to the more expensive Athilmar chariots. Sure, they're more fragile, but, you know, very nice range buffs. And they can still use their, you know, chariot capabilities to go through those poor infantry units. Lovely, and the battle is turning in our favor at about 90%. The enemy desperately attempts to summon another unit of demonettes, this time closer to our artillery pieces, but they quickly get mobbed by Ilariel's dryads and her Treekin, and plus our handmaiden there to lead them. Kind of makes sense that the handmaiden was kept with these guys, and will be returned most likely to Ilariel once she gets her army. I don't really want to give her an army and take her out of Ulthuan until we can get significant numbers of Sisters of Avalorn on field, as it would, I don't know, it would be boring to just have her lead a sort of identical army to other things. It would be nice to get her some Wood Elf units as well, and maybe not even necessarily like Treemen and Treekin and whatnot, maybe something else. We could give her some Zotes, we could give her some Lizardman stuff as well. I will think about it. There's definitely options. Either way, for this particular battle, the enemy is out of options as the chariots and artillery take them out, and the battle is ours. Most of them, I also expect, will get chased down and annihilated because those poor dark shards are just not escaping. 6 chariots, or however it is many we have. Lovely. Alrighty, there we go. I genuinely feel sorry for the Dark Elves. The giant pile of Dark Shards was the worst possible army that this army could have run into. The battle for Hagreef was much more difficult, but yeah, giant pile of chariots and artillery versus giant pile of archers, not gonna go well. 16k damage on the best performing Eagle Club bolt thrower, and by the looks of it, a similar sort of a bit of damage on the best performing Tyrannoc chariot at around 16k. As well, though by the looks of it, all the chariots got a significant number of kills, having both contributed during the fight, disrupted the enemy formations, and of course were plinking away at the enemy the entire time. A lovely bit of fighting. And the Treekin and the Dryads actually came in handy because, for silly reasons, the Dark Elves can summon demonettes. Anyway, we will ransom the captives once again. That army is effectively destroyed. I got a free scroll of stone out of it, one we can certainly put to use. Military access. I'm going to say not for now, because I don't know if you're going to fight the Wood Elves, fight Mazda Mundi. Everybody's fighting everybody, so yeah. We'll hold off on that one. Marcus Wolfhart. I mean, I wouldn't mind the non-aggression pact with you. You are... Oh, the Massive Prejudice... No. Between you and Mazda Mundi. At least Mazda Mundi seems to be okay about the Jade Court. I guess because they're reptilian, he's like, alright, I can live with that. If it's amphibian or reptilian, it's okay. It's semi-okay in my book. Everybody else gets exterminated. That's Mazda Mundi for you, basically. Anyway. No further attacks. We were not besieging anything that we were awaiting an attack from, but I would have figured that somebody would have been nearby. But apparently not. Oh, there's also the Convoys thing, so who knows. And convoying time. We got Camry destroyed. Oh my, what the heck is going on down there? I grow somewhat concerned. Anyway, what do we have here? Ingmir Convoy has run into a tiny little Beastman army. Alright, fair enough. Close victory, medium casualties means we've no choice but to fight this. And fight it we shall. Once again, enjoying the convoy battles, and I'm not going to say no. Go.
For the Sea Guard! For Ulthuan! For all Asur!
Alrighty, here we go. Apparently, Beastmen in the middle of the sea. Randomly, how salty are the Wood Elves about this whole situation? Try to go out to sea to escape this menace, and they're out here as well. Now, granted, there are sea Beastmen, but they wouldn't be taking the form of the cloven Beastmen that we're familiar with in the Empire. I mean, there's lots of different types of Beastmen, like, you know, the Nagas and the Tigermen and whatnot, that look nothing like the goat type and the bull type ones that we have in the Empire, and those would be the ones that we'd be encountering randomly at sea or depending on where we are in the world. Anyway, my point is, for some reason it's the cloven ones at sea, and I'm pretty sure they can't swim, or at the very least they can't do so very well. Here we go, however. The Wood Elves will be surely happy to cut them apart. We're going to head both of our units of the twin blade variant of the War Dancers to cut down those Bestigors, while over on the left flank, our Knights of the Realm, together with the War Lions, smash into the single enemy unit of Bestigors. Bestigors are super fragile, but those great weapons of theirs do plenty of damage, and in fact, at 63 armor-piercing damage, they hit considerably harder and more armor-piercingly than our Knights do, or the Bretonnian Auxiliaries do. So not to be underestimated. And sorry about the camera jumping around, I just, I needed to replace my mouse. Anyway, in the meantime though, while the knights handle the garbage, now that the centaurs are gone, they will be sure to dish out massive amounts of damage to all the poor gores and ungores that are in the main line, while the bestigors have been taken out by the concentrated attacks from both of the war dancers. With the enemy's centaurs and bestigors out of the picture, only the gores and ungores remain, and those are too weak to pose any major threat to us. In just a matter of time now until the knights ride them down, send them flying, or we cut them down with the infantry we have. If you're wondering where the enemy minotaurs were, I believe... Oh, they were killed to a man. Anyway, or killed to a bull. We focused them down with all 4 of our units of Glade Guard, and they achieved absolutely nothing. You can see them dying on the approach to the main line, as all 4 of our range units targeted them. And once again, do keep in mind that we have anti-large ammunition on those Lothern Sea Guard of ours, so surely that helped out. Anyway, with that, the Beastman host breaks, and this convoy sails another day. Alrighty, there we go. Another nice fight for one of the convoys. Definitely took a little bit of damage to the Sea Helm, which, you know, with no buffs to his fighting capabilities, was not ready to face off against a Beast Lord, but all good. At the end of the day, the War Lions and the Knights and the 2 units of War Dancers tore the enemy to shreds without a problem. The range units took down the Minotaurs before they could really do anything at all, and our War Dancers just defeated the Bestigors, while the Knights rode down the garbage Ungors after dealing with the Centaurs with the help of the War Lions. Very well done all around. It could heal up, but frankly, 1 unit slightly damaged is not that big of a deal, and I'm gonna say ransom the captives for the additional influence per turn. I'm still shocked to see Khemri destroy the Defenders of the Great Plan, not so much. Scroll of Stone for shield, no. Law fails, Creator. I see no Malekith nearby. Skipper, Kingdom of Brutonia, Mousillon. We'll give this a read in a bit. And yeah, still no Helmodreska activation. Ooh, I see Valkia. She's still fighting Harganeth, though. I'm tempted to go up there, but I think we have to prioritize grabbing a Nagarond.
Following your orders.
It's a Remnants of Battle. Well, alright, fine, grab the island. It takes us a little bit out of our way, but I just can't leave it there. What if it has something good, you know? And Arabian Arms. Okay, so perhaps not that good. Anyway, actually, the Scarecrow banner will be quite nice for Erathon, because he'll want to have air superiority available to him, essentially, so yeah. You need a Creation Scout? No, I don't think so. You will have the Scarecrow banner. Lovely. Okie dokie. Now, I would like you to heal. Lorna's here still. I guess we could go all the way around and go to Troll Fjord without suffering any attrition. Probably the better way to do it. It does seem like Asuryan is going out there, but I don't think he's going to carry the day, so yeah. Asuryan, go around. I wonder, if you know what, land here, you should be able to heal to full in one go. Or apparently not. Oh, right, you don't have a noble... Yeah, damn, we need that noble capacity. You can go... here.
We go.
I believe this guy can't reach us. I could travel really far, you know, and just to be safe, stay out here. It's not an island, is it? No, just a little tiny Norscan little lighthouse, I guess. Yes, alright, nobles. Another influencer to start. Noble? Yes. Conscientious. This is the only place where we can build them, right? Ah, we can build them here. Wait, can we build them at Torkar? Ah, no we can't. Torkar is the one where we went. Wait, no. Huh. If we build it next turn, we could increase their capabilities, but anyway, you know what? I'm just going to forgo that. Let's go for the Conscientious Noble right now. And you're going to be another influencer.
Ulthuan.
Like so, at rank 8, and now, pretty good. And I'm going to also make sure that you get your specialist and your scare influence, and of this stuff, what else would come in handy? Is anything here good on the battlefield? Or on, as a field agent, rather, not a battlefield. You know what I mean. Not really. I guess we start going through towards Retinue Trainer, but we'll grab Assassinate because other heroes may attempt to irritate us. Wouldn't be surprised at any rate. Oh, we should make sure that we save 2 points for rank 10 so we could pick one of the Knowledge of Affairs and then... Yeah, alright, so go for Assassinate to start. There you go, buddy. Alrighty, Alistar. We probably want to wait out that Plague. I'm going to say this. Go into ambush stance. I'm going to hope that Caravans can't break ambush. Although if they can, well, there isn't much we can do about it. And then that Rudiger here will attempt to go here. You know what, go back a little bit. Just in case that you're not further, and you need to be a little bit closer. Invocation of Isha and Hoeth are nearly up and running. Not that we care that much about either one. Gadrill, I do believe. Ooh, you have a Mad Mullitson here. Hey, you know what? I don't like how close you are to Ingmir. No. You're gonna have to be sunk, buddy. I don't trust you. Also, what was I saving the points for? Was I saving the points for anything? I guess we get Horsemaster. In this particular army, this is actually a decent option for us. Although I went for Blade Stewardship, we could have gotten more speed for him. But anyway, I mean, we do have more range units. Like this. Then... You have Mad's map, so you're going to have to keep that, but the Handmaiden, we are going to give you the enchanted spyglass that we acquired. I got a few other nice things, but these are all for different armies. I don't want to, redo the itemization, which is why they're just going to have to stay like that until I'm ready to get those new armies up and running. We're ignoring these guys for now. What is this? Mysterious sign. All right, go into March stance, leave the place. And we'll try to go for that Mysterious Sign and then return down here to Annalise. You, Arethel, are going this way as well so that they can have a caster since we have no mage tower here. Though, funnily enough, we could have built another Mist-Mage. Well, build. Also, we didn't have capacity anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but, in theory. So, Alistar's good. Gadrill. Do you want to fight? Well, you know what? Let's do the reading of the Kingdom of... No, yes, Moussillon, and then we'll have you sink Mad Mullitson. The Dukedom of Moussillon was a former founding kingdom that once had territories stretching along the western shores of Bretonnia. Ever since its fall, Moussillon is a cursed, impoverished land that is plagued by constant misfortunes, disease, and drawing the attention of dark powers. Having since lost its status as a proper dukedom, the lands of Moussillon is the smallest out of all the 12 realms, even though it once held the title as being the most beautiful and fairest land of them all. Ever since the death of the previous duke, what remains of Moussillon is a backwater region filled with marshes, bogs, and swamps. Those people still living within the dukedom are inbred and horribly mutated. Not that much more than, regular Bretonian peasants, but still more. But anyway, Moussillon villages look poor and run down, more so than typical Bretonian villages. Yeah, okay, that's basically what I was saying. Anyway, the peasant hovels are on the verge of collapsing, streets are little more than sewers, and there are as many dead animals to be seen as living ones. The inhabitants watch any visitors silently from their homes, cowering within and giving only occasional glimpses of their malformed bodies. No one rules this accursed land, for none wish to do so otherwise. Yeah, alrighty. And wait, how close? Ooh, hello, Ingmir leveled up off of that. No. Ingmir, I would like you to get... I guess we were going through better scales in order to get the additional XP. We are waiting for rank 8 for hidden stores, so these two are the important ones for you, buddy. And actually, let me just check the other convoy. Oh, you have not leveled? So yeah, and you were headed down to Sudenburg. Wasn't that lovely? Kofar and Sudenburg, eh? Yeah, alright. Well, let's make the place a little bit safer. Also, you are going to find the routes of Tobaro. Oh, you've leveled. Good for you. Specialist. And then you, sir, go this way. And yes, indeed, there are rats at Tobaro. And they took Bilbali. Damn. I guess if we occupy these places, we could try to trade it for Bilbali before they build anything of significance there. because I would rather have this on. Oh, Morgar's actually still alive. He could potentially take back these locations. What is his... He's only at war with these guys. He just lost his main territory for basically nothing then. Sucks to be him. Anyway. Good drill.
Asur lady.
We can't leave these guys. Gotta protect our convoys. I love the fact that we've got, you know, seagoing armies protecting our convoys. I think this is yet another element that makes this caravan mod great. It feels more like a maritime power, the High Elves, I mean, in general. And I believe the Dark Elves and somebody else gets the same sort of, you know, sea-going convoy rather than land-going caravan idea going. But anyway, absolutely loving it. Let's see if Mad Mulletson loves this fight, though.
Asuryan wills it.
Alrighty, here we go. Asuryan wills it indeed. Kadril, our questionable princess, by virtue of once again the sort of cannibalistic nature of her army, once again leads same said army against a pretty solid enemy war host, rather. Unfortunately for them, or at the very least unfortunately for their single entities, we got a lot of anti-large in the form of our now 4 units of Exalted Illyrian Reaver archers, which rapidly pincushion an enemy Frostworm, or Chaos Frost Dragon, that started on the right flank, and then moved to similarly pincushion the armored Skinwolves. They may be armored, but the Mist Mage slows them to a crawl with Mathland's Spite. And at 26 move speed, and the arrows from 4 Exalted Illyrian Reaver archers raining down upon them, these Skinwolves are quickly annihilated. There we go, that's 2 of the major threatening large units that the enemy had, destroyed without issue and with no damage to us. And now we will move to the left flank, where another unit of Skinwolves, armored Skinwolves, awaits, together with a Feral Mammoth. Will the Feral Mammoth survive the ministrations of the Illyrian Reaver archers' anti-large arrows? Somehow I have my doubts. Oh, these guys are at max reload time too. Again, the Elves have a really easy time reaching max reload time. The Wood Elves do as well. And I don't remember about the Dark Elves. I would imagine crossbows take a little bit longer to reload, but anyway. Either way, the Feral Mammoth is our next target, and the rest of the enemy army is now moving towards us. This time, though, we don't have Mathland's Spite to slow down the Skinwolves. We will, however, hit them with the Shield Breaker and Banish and drop them to about 20% of their HP, as now the Lothern Seaguard's anti-large arrows are firing upon them as well, and it looks like this unit of armored Skinwolves is not able to reach us. We will also try to delay some of the enemy by popping off that Gem of Sunfire in the midst of some of the enemy range units. Not that I would imagine it's all that big of a deal here. Oh, and on top of that, this is the debut of the Exalted Eagleclaw Bolter. Ooh, and their crews look pretty nice here. Fancy Eagleclaw Bolter crews. Funnily enough, it looks like by virtue of being the Exalted variant, the Eagleclaw Bolter crews are almost fancier than the rest of our units are. They actually look, really gotta compare them with other units, but anyway. The Exalted Bolt Thrower is firing off many a shot, since it has 6 units of artillery pieces. Only the 1 kill, but it was focusing down large units for now, until the large units were destroyed. And we'll now switch to multi-shot for everybody else. Speaking of large units being destroyed, I do believe the Mammoth has been felled by the Illyrian Reaver archers, which now can get out of the trees and start firing into the flanks and the rear of the Norskins. Norskins are in disarray. Mad Mulletson has fallen in his attempt to reach our lines together with his berserkers and lies dead upon the battlefield, and it looks like with at least a few units having managed to reach us but do little in the way of damage, the enemy army shatters, and the battle is ours. The enemy did almost manage to get a unit of Marauder Champions and Berserkers around us on the right flank, but a quick summon of Oceanids, thanks to the Mist Mage, made sure that we could focus down the enemy's center. Worked out quite well. And yet another rather nice battle for Kadril, I have to say. I'm quickly growing fond of her and her cannibalistic nature. Somebody in the comments suggested that maybe she could be a shade that recognizes the authority of the Phoenix King, which would be pretty darn unusual, but I don't dislike the idea. If we make her a community canon lord, as in if she gets some more good battles and keeps and doing funny stuff, we will open it up for suggestions as to what her story may be. Either way, though, this battle is ours. Oh, also quick note, just for the channel backers / members, there is a channel member exclusive campaign, a little bit Warhammer 40k coded over there, so do check that out if you missed the member announcement. Anyway. Alrighty, there we go. That was absolutely brutal for poor Mad Mulletson. His army got destroyed with basically no losses. 18k damage on our first Exalted Eagle Claw Bolt. They were very solid with those 6 rather than 4 units. Our Exalted Illyrian Reaver Archers annihilated the enemy Feral Mammoth and Chaos Frost Dragon with their anti-large arrows. And once again, our damage-dealing archers, the Exalted High Elven Archers and regular and heavy arrowheads alike, 13k, 12k, 16k, and I don't know why you did less damage, but solid damage all around, basically. And decent bit of work on our Mist Mage. 23.6k damage, huh? That was just from repeatedly spamming the Mathland Spite. That was actually pretty good. Huh, go figure. I guess it's kind of like Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma, where if you keep using it over the course of the battle, it's going to rack up a lot of damage. Anyway, I will ransom the captives, unsurprisingly. We will have to destroy this remnant of his army, though. Else he'll just sail away. And hey, another Dragonfire handgun. Okay, the fact that we're getting those is going to be perfect, because we will be building a fire damage-dealing ranged army, hopefully with Lizardmen, Salamanders, Sisters of Avalorn, the Talons of Tor Callida, the Regiment of Renown, fire weakness-causing archers, and whatever other fire things we can fit. Anyway, Slay Barden, please. Auto-resolve. This better not severely damage us. 0 loss, good. And Turning Gulf Raider is destroyed. Lovely. Kadril, I would also like you take the opportunity to get Dark in the Skies. Buff up that reload even more for truly obnoxiousness. True obnoxiousness. Ah, now that's a question. Do we go towards the Skull Reef? We could land here and pick up Socotra. The only problem is this is all near Cornate and Rat territory. If we don't leave an army there, it'll just get taken, which I don't particularly like. At the very least, I don't like the idea of leaving Kadril there. We could just grab the Skull Island. There's another Skull Island down here, though, and there's a lot more islands nearby. Another Skull Island here. We'll leave this one for now. Though I'm willing to bet that one of those jerk faces will pick it up anyway. Anyway, you guys, let's level you, or continue leveling you. We were spamming Mathland Spite, but I'm going to say let's get Envelop in Mist first, just for the additional speed. And the occasional use of the Envelop in Mist ability as well. Alright, Noble. What were we going through before? Alright, we went through Horse Master. I guess we could just pick one of these things up. Income from post-battle loot is not too bad of an idea. I don't really care about your personal damage being slightly higher, to be perfectly honest, but at the same time... Not at the cost of melee defense, I think. Yeah, it'll be fine. I'd say we're more likely to get value out of Favored by Isha and the additional income. Though, at the same time, Colossal Strike for anti-large units that actually manage to reach our lines is probably a good idea. Also, let's grab the wards and possibly Speed of Asuryan as well. There's a lot of stuff to put our points in, so yeah. Anyway, let's max out Retinue Valet quickly as we can for more magic item drop chance. Kadril, grab the next island, which is a Fell Cargo, and Castle Forge Steel for you. Heavy Iron. Lovely. Go as close to that Skull Island as you can now. Ooh. That Sorcerer's Islands looks pretty neat. Pretty neat indeed. Yes. Anyway, what else do we have here? That was Kadril. Borath. You, I was heading down to grab Bilbali, but we may still get value out of grabbing Nuja, Nuha, whatever the pronunciation may be.
Master of high
You, Kevin, yes. So,
Prince of Ulthuan.
we needed to build this, but at the same time, Kevin is now able to recruit our first Phoenix Guard and our first Swords Masters. We want to do so next turn, so we will switch you to Rally Citizen Militia.
Defender of the
We'll get those up and running. And I think Tyrion is close to rank 30. Oh, and our second Phoenix. And I wanted 2 Frostheart Phoenixes. Phoenixes. I'm just imagining a very cold shopping cart. But anyway. Ooh. And there's the Sea Elementals. I did want to build an army around them as well.
I'm ready.
Though again, that would be based on a Sea Helm of a specific kind of Sea Helm. Which actually we don't have anymore. Ooh, Prescient Sea Helm. Melee defense plus 20 and 40 missile resistance. Doesn't buff the army, but quite solid in terms of buffing everybody else. I'm gonna think about it. Anyway, Flyer. Yes, we may actually use you, Sarah. We still have Energetic and Punitive as well. Which are really, really good. And frankly, probably it's worth it to spend the influence on them. Alright, let's leave them for a moment.
Speak.
You're gonna wait. We
Guardian
will
of the
get the
Phoenix
Rally
Crown.
Citizen Militia. Let's keep
I will
moving. Ah, wait,
feed
we did have another blurb, so let's blurb it up. What was the next blurb? We did move Sion. Humor Convoy. Oh, we didn't have another blurb. I imagined it. I'm imagining blurbs now. This is what my life has come to. Anyway.
Your bidding.
Yeah, I suppose it's not the worst thing to imagine. You go to Evershale. There is nothing to build there for now, so you're just fine.
Master
Go past
of
it,
high
past
magic.
Phoenix Gate, and oh, are you oh, actually, it looks like you're just managing to reach Toran, I guess. 800 to free. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Alrighty. And we don't need to be a Trinicurnus as yet. / Torkar, and Torkarali is fine as well. Okie dokie. Alariel.
Ariel the Everqueen,
Now, you have to proceed to Lothern.
Light of Avalon.
Then I would like you to go back to Shrine of Loic, or, yeah, Shrine of Loic, and end your turn there.
Prince of
Here,
Ulthuan.
we are somewhat temporarily, but nonetheless, building the Athilmar Smiths all the way to the max so that we can get the Lions. Yes. Then,
These tides
okay, we'll move you in a bit. Can we? We can't have the mage with you. I'd like the mage for the Skull Reef, but we'll see.
look into
Who else still needs to move? Hanamara, yes, you could besiege Nagarond, or we could ignore it for now. Hagreef can defend itself, so we could be free to take Cragroth Deep and Temple of Khaine. Oh, actually, we'll need Tyrion to take Temple of Khaine. I mean, we could just kill them all with the Eagle Claw Bolters inside the settlement. Does feel a little bit obnoxious doing it that way. I also wonder, is there anybody actually at Cragroth Deep? Huh.
What is
You're
this
not able to
foolishness?
reach... Oh, funnily enough, wait. Are you in Nagarond? Oh, you are in Nagarond.
This will fail.
Oh, it's about to reach
No.
tier 5 as well. But Tyrion's almost here.
of the Everqueen.
And he's the one that wants Malekith's head.
Time is of the essence.
Well, there you go. Anyway, you know what? Let's do this. We're gonna pop you back into ambush stance. I hope that Malekith doesn't die.
Master of high
Tempting
magic.
this. Go...
Beyond even quiet.
Go here.
I light the
You
way.
go here.
Poets and
We'll see if this
songs.
works. Huh? It's at 80%. Now it's 70%. Why are you why are you lying, game?
Of Safari.
Unplayable. Anyway, ooh, wow, Moussi. Aw. Love to see it. Alrighty, Coril. I believe we were going to besiege Castle Artois, though at the same time, perhaps it would be better to attack Gisoro so that these guys cannot take it from us. Well, decent options. You have siege attack. We could sack Artois. Actually, wait. Oh! Oh! It's got good defenders, Blood Knights and such. Okay, I was not expecting that, to be fair. Huh, alright, fair enough. Go into Noble Prestige. We're actually going to have to deal with this then. And I suppose if we take Gisoro, we would be able to bring up Bellinaire to help out. Yeah, maybe that's the better way to do it. Alright, Bellinaire, go into Channeling Stance, whatever it's called for us. Lilith's Blessing right here.
Off I go.
We'll send Corhill instead to Gisoho, and then we'll besiege Castle Artois next turn. And Rudiger will be trapped at Fort Bergborough. Yes. This we cannot auto-resolve. I might do this between the episodes just because it's a waste of time for this army. Well, or actually is it? Wait a moment. Let me just see what we have here. I mean, there's a decent pile of Graveguard. It's not a full stack, but technically we're not a full stack either, right? No, actually we are at full stack. Shut up. Anyway. I will consider it. You will reinforce, though.
Treading
Just to
lightly.
leech XP. Alright, stay there for now. What else do we have here?
Lady of
Kala. Oh,
Phoenix
that's you.
Court.
How
Can I
about
offer assistance?
Lorna? You're good where you are. Annalise,
Phoenix King. A
you
wise course.
are going to grab the shipwreck
Making waves.
and explore the island and... you don't have a way to quick heal. This is the main issue here. I.e., if we don't fight this, we'll take damage, or enough damage so as to not be viable for the Skull Island. Frankly, I don't think we'll be viable for the Skull Island anyway, at least without the mage, and thusly we probably should fight this. Fight it we shall, go.
For the king!
Alrighty, here we go. Just some dregs of pilot units. I mean, they're not really dregs in the sense that it's not that they're bad units, it's just that we didn't really make this army so much as confederated it, and are using whatever units we got in. By the looks of it, a relatively even battle. The same amount of units on both sides, one artillery piece to each side, and our composition a little bit more random than theirs. On the bright side, we also do get to try out our first warline chariots. We'll have plenty of these with Coral in, well, eventually. As soon as we can build them, really. But for now, I mean, technically we have been seeing the warline chariots do their thing with Alistar mounted on one, but he's been the only one so far. For now, these warline chariots are going to loop around this little rock while the enemy is led towards our main line of spears and silver and guard. And we get ready to surround the enemy and hit them from several sides. Our units of Lothern Skycutters will act as melee chariots for this particular time, moving in to attack the Carronades and cause their crews to bleed and tear them to shreds, while Warline chariots, Warlions, Ithilmar chariots, and our piles of Rangers hit the enemy on the left flank and start tearing through those hand cannons. And quite effectively, I would imagine, the little missile troops that the Vampire Coast has without other units to hold the line are extraordinarily fragile. The Warlines are amongst their ranks now, and the Ithilmar and Warline chariots are just tearing through the enemy. And even sitting still because the enemy range units aren't a threat, just to make sure that the enemy range units are locked down and unable to do anything. It's more important than backing up because they're not really going to be able to do any damage to these guys. And if they're not firing, they're doing effectively nothing. Nice little rear charge into the enemy ranks is with the enemy arranged line being completely annihilated. The main threat that remains on the battlefield is the enemy depth guard. Though frankly, by dishing out additional damage to them, that pops off their unique ability, and the explosion that causes, that dishes about 50% damage to one of the spears. And we do have to be wary of it. But it's all good. It may be a little bit of damage, but it won't prevent us from getting this island and continuing to roll the dice and hope and pray for the favor of Matlan and, at long last, the materials at sea. Wouldn't that be lovely? We just need one game, just the one, and ideally before the campaign is over. Granted, we're a long ways away as long as interest remains, but yeah, we'd really like one nonetheless. Anyway, it looks like the mainliners and the enemy backliners are destroyed at this point, and one unit of zombie pirate deckhand mobs effectively remains. We'll quickly charge the remnants of a zombie pirate gunnery mob, which still has 30 units, just because I don't want them firing off any more shots into any of our units. Now, the chariots are fairly vulnerable to the pistol fire from these guys since they have 360-degree firing angle and can fire while moving. And then there was one. The line holders of the faction, the zombie pirate deck, well, one of the line holders, zombie pirate deckhand mobs with polearms. A mob of polearms and a mob of rotting Prometheans is just such a hassle to break through. Although, alas, for these guys, no rotting Prometheans to back them up. The arrows send them tumbling down, and the Reaper Bolt Thrower bolts send them flying back and tearing them to shreds as well. Looks like the last of the poor zombos are pin-cushioned or disintegrate. And with that, another island is ours. That was not on cue. Frankly, I expected them to disintegrate a little bit faster, but not to worry. They will all disintegrate eventually. There we go. Alright, there we go. That went pretty reasonably well for us. The War Lion Chariots, or Lion Chariots, did a debut and did a decent 8.7k damage, though Vampire Coast isn't really an ideal faction for Chariots to face off against, just because the plentiful zombie pirate gunnery mobs and the pistol wielders will just keep firing at you and bringing down those Chariots occasionally. The Tyrion Chariots did better because they have access to their range ability and don't necessarily have to be in melee to dish out the damage. So, solid work out of everybody. Clue Lions and Not will ransom the captives rather than healing. And keep on carrying on. Alrighty. Creation, Scout, and... Man, not one lost cargo or... why are you suffering attrition? In deep waters. How about not deep waters? There you go. Right. Yeah, I think for the Skull Reef we'll need Melwyn to come out and, well, help out, so we'll wait for that warp at the very least, the mage, we shall see. Either way, I do believe we're out of time, so I'm going to have to call this episode here. Still having a lot of fun, and probably tell by the episode lengths ballooning, but at the same time, gotta end it off sometime. Not the campaign, obviously. Nowhere near. But the episode... Oh, actually, before we do, just one quick thing. Did we get any new defensive alliances that are of... Yes. Western provinces. Keep your money. I need you to survive so we can have access to your units. And then we'll immediately build the outpost in Hanyu Port. Ooh, which looks pretty magnificent as well. Hanyu Port it is. Yes. Admittedly, we can't actually build anything that we want out of Hanyu Port, but I really want those Jet Lions from Cathay in general. We'll find them, I'm sure. I will most likely, if I don't forget, do the battle... Well, actually, again, I might leave it to next episode. Because there's actually a decent amount of units there. There's Vargeist, there's some fun stuff. I'm kind of interested in seeing them fight against the Great Eagles, admittedly, so there is that. Anyway, lots more to come, and the Swordsmasters, Phoenixes, Phoenix Guard, whatever else you have, will start to being constructed next episode. And hopefully we can keep our economy rising to sort of counteract the additional cost, while Tyrion will most likely head to Nagron, and hopefully we can find Malekith. He's got to be out here somewhere. He has 10 settlements. I assume that when we declared war on him, he was up here, so he's probably slowly making his way down. So we'll get there eventually as well. Alright. And we'll also see how this whole situation resolves itself. Bunch of idiots. Anyway, stay tuned for more Tyrion. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially the threshold if you're into the whole double episode thing. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.